Welcome everyone to the Multichain Nation. Today we have Vivek and Shweta from Interswap. It's super exciting to have you both here today.
Hi Rudy, I'm extremely excited. It's actually my repeat, appearance. So I'm equally excited, and let's see that how it goes.
Yeah,
Hi, nice to be here. This is my first time here, but equally excited to be here.
yes. And we're excited to have you on here, Vivek. That's why we got you back on again. And Shweta, we're happy for having your appearance here as well to get a more in-depth look into Interswap. So before, we get into what's happening, let us know what is Interswap, what's going on, and what do they do?
Sure. Interswap actually can mean, lot for, different entity. It could be, a different thing. But to put things into actually, simple terms, by Interswap, we are trying to address two core problems of Web3. One is the liquidity, and second is the user. The vision of Interswap is very simple. We want to be the cross-chain liquidity hub, which can be accessed via protocols and users both. We have done a lot of work behind the scene, and on the hindsight you can think that we are like another multi-chain dex or AMM, but it's not about what we are doing. It's about the how we actually are approaching this like statement. And in order to answer this how, Axelar is actually playing a very very important role in order to do so. So from a user perspective, uh, now they can actually access any dApp of any ecosystem or any protocol of any ecosystem and take part in their DeFi opportunities or yield opportunities like never seen before. For a protocol, what actually is going to happen? They are going to get access to the liquidity, which used to be fragmented earlier, but right now we are bringing all the liquidity into a single piece or place where they can get access to liquidity, plus they can also get access to the user. So think of it like Interswap is more like a piece which actually binds everything in umbrella like structure. The stakeholders could be different, users, protocol as in who wants to get access to users plus liquidity, and the protocols who actually also wants to integrate Interswap in the DeFi, different use cases which could be DeFi, NFT, gaming, wallet, anything that you can think of. So that's pretty much Interswap for you.
Wow, yeah, it's a lot to take on. It's not an easy undertaking, especially having that umbrella system. And you were saying you're using Axelar. Could you give us a little bit of a deeper dive on what parts of Axelar you're using and how it's integrated into Interswap?
So, the architecture that we are trying to implement is actually very, very deep tech implementation. Imagine a scenario where maybe a year back you used to have, interoperability options like bridge or bridge aggregators, where the go-to options when you think about accessing liquidity or assets. But now with emergence of messaging as a system, what has actually happened now that you can get these things accessed very very seamless manner. So the way we are using three components of Axelar. The first is the conventional or the legacy GMP, for which Axelar is known. So as a result of which the user don't have to go through the multiple steps. They just have to confirm the swap, and within one click they will be able to deploy the liquidity and also the access the asset from the destination chain. So that is the first use case of XLR that we are using. Second use case of XLR is going to be the XLR intent. We plan to use the XLR intent in our express service. What actually it means in the simple terms that going forward, by the implementation of this, user will be able to swap or move liquidity within fraction of seconds, or simply within 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, depending upon the finality. And the last piece where we want to use the XLR is something called ITS or interchain token service. So we will be having our own token, and we want to deploy it across different chains. We want to retain the fungibility. We want to retain the functionality. We want to retain the same contract address. And for this to happen, the platform that XLR is offering, that will be a great beneficiary for us and for any other project who also wants to use this service actually. So GMP, XLR intents, and ITS are the three core things that we will walk away with at Interswap.
That's amazing because Axelar helps so much in aspect of kind of relieving the amount of development and coding to being able to interswap or swap between different tokens and different chains. So, how is that for you when you first discovered Axelar? that just like that feeling like finally I can finally build what I want to build using this.
So I got to know about Axelar somewhere between the year 2022 actually, when this whole narrative of cross-chain messaging was actually a new narrative that was actually building on. And so we had a problem statement. We were looking for different options, and one of the options that actually popped up was that why not implement this liquidity unification as a concept using this message passing option, and that is where we got actually introduced to the XLR. Now the experience has been fantastic. I mean, there are so many things that I can actually go on and speak, but the first thing that actually strikes out or the stands out is like the degree of association. So it's I have been into this industry for so many years, and I have worked with so many teams as part of onboarding them but the degree in terms of association simply means that once they come with you, they will be with you with the entire life cycle that you go through. So onboarding, integration, post integration, anything that you ask them beyond what they have actually promised. So for example, network access, marketing resources, or the marketing support, anything that you can think of, that actually they have actually done it on the ground. They used to spend with us every alternate week for an hour or two, or depending upon the topic that we want to discuss. And they have been doing this right now till date also, and without any call failure. I mean, every bi-weekly we have a call with leadership team of the XLR. So this is the point number one. Second is something called accessibility. You reach out to any person from the XLR depending upon which person that you want to reach out, and most likely that you will get a response, and the response rate would be very very fast. So it's not about that you want to reach to the Georges or Sergi or any other person who you want to speak with. They are equally faster in response, and equally accessible. And the last piece which I actually covered in the first point is that they do beyond what you actually expect them to do. And this I think is a trademark, and we are very fortunate actually that we actually discovered Axelar at a very early stage of our Interswap development. So long story short, I mean, we can't capture in the words, but you can see the emotion that I go through when I talk about Axelar. So it's been a fantastic experience so far.
I love it. And it's so important to have that. I mean, in the blockchain industry, in the past few years, it was becoming a little bit hostile. And it's really refreshing to see how Axar is very integrated and very welcoming to accepting projects and helping them out, and not just building a protocol and then leaving it. They're building the protocol technically and building the community and building the dApps that are building on top of them. It's all a collaborative effort, and that's what we really need, and that shows in XR because they have you and they have plenty of other projects also building on top of them. Now for Interswap, say if I was a user, what would my experience look like? And if I was a developer, what the implementation experience would look like?
Understood. So the typical life cycle of a user would look like this. Go to the app.interswap.io. Depending upon which part of the action that you want to do, either you want to take part in a swap, or you want to do as part of the liquidity. In any aspect, you just fill the order book if you want to go for the swap, and you have to confirm. And trust me, that's the only step that you need to go. And after that, beyond the scene, a lot of complexity will happen. Boom, 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 and you will get your asset in the a destination chain. So that's the first use case or the life cycle. That's it. So we have just 2 to 3 step process. Same happens with the liquidity. So liquidity has 2 sub cases. Either you want to add liquidity into a liquidity pool, or you want to open up a liquidity pool. So this is a new feature that, as part of the user experience that we are bringing, that user can actually open up the liquidity pool. So they can just put the asset chain, just click submit and done. So it's actually as simple as that, which actually I'm trying to express. Same happens with the adding liquidity. So you have the existing liquidity pool. You just connect your wallet. Just you can add liquidity in your single asset also. So that's the another UX level thing that we have try to implement, which means you don't have to meet 50% or multiple asset as part of the deploying as a capital. So you can, let's say that the liquidity pool is of 8 asset, and you only hold one out of that 8 asset. You can still go ahead and take part in the liquidity pool, which in return will give you better output or the ROI for your ideal sitting asset, and you don't have to go through the hassle of arranging all the 8 asset or the 6 asset. So you can still earn something and take part in the DeFi yield option just by adding liquidity in a single asset. So this is the typical life cycle or the journey of a user would look like from a developer perspective or the B2B side integration perspective. After the mainnet, we'll have the SDK as part of the implementation. But depending upon which side you want to pick, so for example, you are a wallet provider and you want to facilitate users with omnichain swaps, and you can it will be like widget like experience which will pop up, and you can still go ahead and user can actually move their asset within wallet itself. So that's the use case number one. Use case number two could be NFT. So you have different NFT in the destination chain, which needs a different asset actually to buy that thing. You have something on the source chain, you swap that asset, take that in the destination chain, you can buy the NFT or do anything that you wish to do. Similarly with yield option. So for example, we can plug in with the lending and borrowing use case where you lend something, put into the liquidity of the Interswap, then you can actually, because you are deploying there and picking up something, so that output will act as an input to the Interswap as an asset, and you can earn there. You can actually reverse the process where you take out something from the Interswap as an, a swap function, deploy that into the lending protocol, and then you can earn from there also. So depending upon how you want to maximize your yield generation opportunity or the options that you have. So these are a lot of use cases actually. So literally it fits into literally all the use cases. We have very strong use case with liquid staking tokens actually. So you swap, and the entire thing can actually happen within same UI that we are planning to implement.
I love that you focus so much on making it very easy for users and developers. It's kind of tough sometimes people focus on one or the other. Um, and the fact that a user can do things in one click, that's hard to experience in crypto. Now you have
And
to
hard to
click
implement
here.
also. Don't
Yeah.
forget.
And we're thankful for you for implementing this. And it's nice to hear that devs can just simply get an SDK and get started. It's tough to really do everything yourself. So thank you for making it easy for everybody. And I'm sure people right now listening and excited to actually hopefully get on and
We
experience
are
it
actually more
themselves.
nervous than users, and the reason for that is that we don't know that how user will react to this, but the numbers and the reaction so far that we have received as part of the testnet so far, it's very encouraging, and it's about something that comes to you naturally because you have been using a lot of protocols, and then you just go out and try out yourself also, and you see the difference. So if you're able
Mm.
to, because you are part of that user base, so if you are able to feel that difference, hopefully that user will appreciate and see that difference.
Yeah, make it as intuitive as possible. And now that you have this test net going on and people are, testing it out and you're getting feedback from it, what is next for your project?
I'll take that question. So what we're looking at next is the mainnet. Our focus again with the mainnet will be to make cross-chain swaps accessible, easy, secure, and safe for users to get into. More onboarding has always been a goal for every project in Web3, and that is something that we focus on as well. Within that, we also really focus on the user story. A user should not come onto the platform and get lost. So we try to make the UI as simple as possible. You come here and you make one-click cross-chain swaps. That in itself reduces a lot of pressure from the user. In terms of what's next is mainnet, going ahead with our GMP express swaps powered by Axelar, and coming up with more innovative ways for users to get involved in the cross-chain space as well as the DeFi space, getting together with other protocols, uh, even other protocols in DeFi to get them as involved as possible. That's our goal next. To yeah.
Yep. And it's a lot to undertake because there's testing in testnet and then moving to mainnet. It's probably very anxiety inducing, but also very
Yes.
exciting because now it's just everything you've been working for is finally becoming put to life. And even when I make transactions today, like from my own wallet to my own wallet or to Coinbase or whatever, I'm nervous because I'm like, oh, did it go through? Is it there? It's just a simple
Yeah.
thing that I know it's going to work. I can see it working. It's just still everyone gets a little bit of a mini heart attack when using this stuff. So it's really exciting that you're also very thorough about what you're working on, making sure it's implemented properly, and going through the test phase.
Yes, we've
Now,
had.
say if I was a
Sorry.
community member, sorry, go ahead.
No, we've had 3 test nets so far. Each one we've seen a better growing response as we've kept moving forward. So that gives us feedback from users as to we're on the right track. Now it's this build up, and everyone's waiting for the climax, which is going to be the mainnet, which is hopefully soon. And that's all we're hoping for right now.
Awesome. And say if you were a person who wants to get involved with Interswap and I want to be part of the community, where do I go? How do I do it? What should I try to get into?
The easiest way to get involved in the community would be to join our Discord or Telegram. You can join us on our Twitter. We have a link. We have a link tree. You can find all our socials there. We regularly have a lot of campaigns. We've been doing campaigns with Superboard, Interact, on Galaxy, and all the platforms that you could imagine, trying to give back to the community as much as possible. We host a lot of learn and earns as well in order to keep the cycle churning. We keep getting new users, and we want everyone to be on the same page constantly. We evolve, and so should our users. They should also get to experience what we do while we're making all the changes that we're doing, and as we grow slowly. So we keep doing all these campaigns, and the easiest way is to get connected to us either on our Twitter or on our Telegram. Telegram is always easier. You can get in touch with a lot of more people who are talking about the same thing, who want to maybe experience the same phases of the protocol as everyone else, and you can be in touch with the team as well as other users at the same time. So that gives you a better edge. Apart from that, just following on our socials will give you everything that you need to know about Interswap.
Nice. Yeah, because just building an amazing project and protocol is one thing, but then also you have to get the word out and get the community excited and have them share everything. That's a whole, just as, or if not more important, part of building a project than the
Right.
technical aspect of it. So it sounds like you have everything covered and things are happening soon. People should get on board and get excited for this and get ready to start using Interswap within their daily. Um, but yeah, thank you so much both for joining me today, and thank you so much for being on the Multichain Nation today. I'm excited. I'm sure everyone in Axelar is very excited, and I'm sure the community that you have is pumped to start getting this going. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much for
Thank you
having
so
us.
much.